2, 3, 4. Half. I'll do it that way. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5. Huh. Got one frame. Okay, let's just go into it. Let's do our line of action, which is the spine of the figure. We're going to be constructing the 3 immovable masses, which is the head, the torso, and the pelvis. We are going to be doing a lion-esque character today, so now with the lion-esque characters, what's a little weird is getting the head to seem like it's able to fit the weight on here, so we are going to be using regular-esque proportions on this one. So within this regular proportion sheet, we're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4 should be at the end of the pelvis. This is the torso. 1, 2, 3, 4 is at the end of the pelvis. So what's the verse today, or do you figure it? You're gonna just pick a topic. Today's Bible study was actually on God's timing. I was thinking about God's timing, and I feel like pastors talk about God's timing quite a bit. And that's what we went into. And the commentary went into Moses today. Okay, so these are our 3 immovable masses. So if we think, okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5 is at the end of the kneecap. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't have like a set schedule in terms of like how I'm going to go about doing these Bible studies, but the thing is, there's enough information on the internet that I feel like it's readily available to everybody. And the other weird thing is there's basically a commentary for every single verse. That would be actually an interesting thing to think about is there a verse that does not have a commentary? Which I do not know. Okay, so let's see here. This is the end of the knee. This one is we're going to have this one knee up like this. So let's see if this would work. 1, 2, 3, 4, end of the pelvis. 5, 5.5. This is pushed into a perspective. So it's a foreground perspective. So this is actually, so instead of having the leg like this, it's actually pushed up like that. Yeah, God's timing. There's a lot of verses that go into God's timing. Now, one of the commentaries today actually did go into Moses and how Moses, in his, what was it bringing up? Maybe impatience, he actually murdered somebody. It's kind of strange to think about that Moses actually murdered somebody, right? Very odd to think about. Okay, let's put in our deltoid. Delta is split into 3 parts. Now I need to have this as like the Word of God, so I might even just have the Word of God right there. Alright, let's put in... Oh, actually, I totally got that wrong. This would be deltoid right here. Now I should have the shield. I mean, I could just have the shield kind of like... Yeah, this one's coming by pretty fast. I'm trying to do it without the thumbnail. I kind of go back and forth doing thumbnails and without the thumbnails. I'm also thinking we could change the shield too. We could have the shield up front, which honestly that might even be better, having the shield in the front. Generally, if you put the shield in the front, you can actually get away with drawing less. Which that's actually what we might do. Let's try it out. Okay, so we have deltoid. Now see, these shields are nice because when you do it like that, you don't have to draw as much. Now we are going to try and make this a Lion Knight, so... I don't know if I should have the shield like this or like the other way. I think we're going to have it like that, though. Anyways, eat some salt. Salt, 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 salt. I know I sound weird, but I actually do eat a lot of salt. Now this one is very similar to another Lion Knight that we've done previously, which trying to change it up a little bit though. Alright, so this is one of the hardest parts about the Line Knights. It's this head. But I think we got most of it down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sharpen this pencil up. Which, do I have my knife in here? And take her knife. I'm just going to sharpen this up in the trash can. How are you doing, Bambina? Have you been drawing at all? So we've sharpened our pencil up, coming in a nub right up in here. So we have somewhat our main things established. Let's actually kind of go right here and just establish our proportion sheet once again. So we have 1. We are using normal human proportion on this character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually kind of got that a little bit off. That's generally where it's at. So then from here, what we're going to do is we are going to be establishing with our somewhat semi-permanent layer, which this layer is somewhat of our commitment layer, which we're really going to have to commit to it. So let's send it. And I'd like to almost think that this technique that we're doing, it's almost just send it, just like you're just going with it. We're trying to do it as fast as possible, and we're just working on basically 2 layers. It's almost like, if maybe not even 2 layers, it's actually like a layer, but then also we have a layer that we can erase. Lately it's been a little here and there. I've gotten so many ideas, but for some reason it's difficult to get much down. Sometimes you just gotta doodle, you know? Or even just, I mean, a good thing is just to draw, like just set like 20 minutes a day, you know, and just doodle something, right? What also might help too is drawing smaller in the scale, drawing smaller in your scaling. Okay, so let's establish this figure. We're starting with our line of action, which is this is the spine of the figure. We're establishing our head. We're establishing the torso now of the figure. This is our pelvis. And it sounds weird, but I'm actually drawing through the forms. So even though we have a leg through here, I'm going to be drawing, we're basically establishing everything from the inside out. Let's split the pelvis in half. Split that in half. This is our leg. This is our other leg. Why we drew this pelvis is, see how I split that in half right there? that's how we figure out that's where that thigh muscle goes right there. I mean, I'm going to be honest. You know one thing you could do, Bambina? If you copy the entire How to Construct a Figure from George B. Bridgman, that one really helps. I've copied that book front to back probably 7 times. Alright, now what are we doing? We're establishing our deltoid. Deltoid is split into 3 parts. Our that's actually tricep. Bicep, that would be forearm muscle. Let's do it on this side. Or I guess we could establish the sword now too. Establish this deltoid. And even though we're putting a shield on top, I like to draw through the forms to see how it's working. Now we're going back to this pencil. We are going to be cleaning up a lot of this, though let's put in a little bit more. I'm also figuring out where I could put the Bible. I think maybe we could have it on a chain right here or something. But now what we're going to be doing is now we're going with this one and we're going to clean up a lot of this stuff. And maybe how I should be doing it is we should maybe clean up and then work on the portrait. But how I remember how I was doing it lately is I just go in now and we're just gonna clean up the entire thing, roughly cleaning up the entire thing. Maybe I should get a bigger eraser. That's actually one purchase I might make. Getting a bigger eraser to speed up this process. Now the thing is, I've been kind of changing my technique a little bit every now and then. If you guys haven't been noticing, you know, sometimes we'll do a little thumbnail, we'll build the thumbnail out. Sometimes I won't erase that layer right there, and sometimes we'll just go into another layer. But I don't know, from last week, it seems like when I just clean it up right away, it does kind of speed up the process because then I know I have to re-establish these lines again. All right, so we've cleaned it up now. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna be doing the Brad Rigney technique, and we are going to be working on the hardest areas first, which will be like portrait and then hands, and then we'll build everything else up. And we do have enough room on this one where we might actually put a bike in the back, potentially. But I was also maybe thinking about putting wings, but I'm not sure. What's going to be pretty challenging right now is we're going to be trying to make this a lion. I know it sounds weird. I haven't drawn a lion in a while. And let me see if this playlist is on on shuffle. I don't think it is. Okay. So right now we are going to be establishing this right now. Now this is a hard part. We can have this face looking towards us, towards this way, towards that way. It could be facing this way, that way. I'm not sure yet, actually. I mean, I'm thinking maybe there would be arrows in this, like, or flaming darts on here. So maybe he would be looking this way, or it could be looking this way. So I'm looking this way. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to block this head out. So we're going to think about this as a block of mass. Which maybe I might not do it that direction actually, because now it looks kind of weird, huh? And see, this cube's very important because from this cube we split everything in half. This cube is very, very important of how we're going to set the tone of this. Which maybe we should have it in the front like that, huh? How should we have this? Should we have it facing this way in the front? I mean, I guess maybe we could even have it facing towards us this way. I don't know, huh? How should we have this? That is the question, everybody. How should we... Thinking maybe even having it this way might be good, because then the darts would be like this, maybe. Let's try it that way then. I was going to have it look it that way, but we're going to maybe try it this way now. Okay, so see how we've made this block? Now we're going to split this block in half. Split it in half again. Now the hard part about the lion heads is making the mane look like it fits on the character. That's the hardest part. So let's just kind of experiment right now. Let's see what happens if we just quickly kind of just establish some of this. So we're gonna try and figure out this block first, because I know generally where I mess up, especially with these Lion Knights, is you want to do the main, right? The main is fun, right? But the thing is what messes it up if I get this proportion wrong, and then I put the main on it, I literally have to erase this, redo that, and then redo the main. So it's very important to get this one down. The strong and brave plant cat lion holds the shield of faith and leans on the sword of the spirit. That's kind of what it is, huh? That's funny. Let's redo some of these eyes. This eye is a little janky up in here. Now the cool thing about like drawing like this is basically like playing a video game, you know? Or kind of viewing it as. This is basically just the RPG game. And the thing is a lot of RPG games, this is actually how they get created, is from, you know, concept art, and then we take these concept arts and we 3D it out. Now it'd be cool, I mean, how crazy would it be if we were to commit all our ways to the Lord, right? It really makes me wonder, how would the Lord want us to do all this stuff, right? I don't know. Now we are thinking about a little bit of anatomy. So if we see this line right here, I forgot what line that is, but there's this bone in both animals and humans. They're very similar. Anatomy speaking, anyway. I'm not saying that we are like these things, but if we were to break it down anatomically, we would find out that there would be an eye socket. There's that one part with the jaw. The jaw connects right here. There's the jawbone muscle. There's one thing that goes up in here. I forgot what it's called. I know that now the thing is, if you study anatomy, there's actually names for all of these things. I just kind of remember it by shape. So what we're thinking is that there is an eye socket. This is kind of the cheekbone muscle. There's the nose cavity right here. We're thinking about this as the jawbone right here. This is the jaw. Now let's see if we can add in a lion's mane up in here, travelers. Can we draw a lion's mane on here? This is just funny, huh? Alright, let's see here. So since we've gotten this hard part completed, let's see if now we can add a lion's mane to this. So now from this, now we can go in and potentially make it a little bit more wild. George B. Bridgman. That's where I studied my anatomy. Now, he goes in pretty gnarly about it, but he also simplifies it. Like I was saying, that's where I learned figure drawing. I've learned my anatomy and my figure drawing from George Bridgman. And the reason why I started studying George Bridgman is because of one of my favorite artists, Frank Frazetta. He studied George Bridgman. Now, the thing is, you don't have to be 100% accurate, right? But I think just learning, I think the biggest one is the proportions one. Learning the proportions, how to do that, and then doing the rest. Oh, I forgot ears. We forgot ears, everybody. How do the ears go up in here? The ears would be, let's see here. Like right here, right? Little ears. Now, the other thing about these Lion Knights is also there is a very gnarly, I think it's gnarly, but I guess not even gnarly, but in MTG there are these like cat folks, and there's this guy named Ajani, and he's kind of like this Lion Knight guy. Now, I did leave a little bit of room on purpose because I think we're going to put a little halo on this guy. Okay, so I'm digging the portrait. Now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be committing to this portrait now. So we're taking our commitment line and we're going to be going in there now. And so when I do it with this line right here, this is basically kind of cementing in that we are going to be establishing this. And so now it almost, when we do this, it almost gives us a save point, right? It's almost like working in a digital medium, but instead of digital where you can just keep erasing your layers, this is basically like a permanent layer where you can never erase it. Holy moly! Somebody's raiding me. What the? Let's see here. Who's raiding? Who'd it be? Oh, Consumed by him. Oh, what's up, man? Man, Consumed, you're a rad dude, bro. Thank you so much, dude, for just all the edification and just uplifting all the time. I really appreciate it. You do not have to do that, Consumed by him. You're awesome, bro. Right now, we're drawing a Lion Knight. We're trying to, anyway. Trying to draw a Lion Knight. So now what we're going to do, and if anybody's tuning in, the mediums that we're using is this right here is just simple computer paper. We are using computer paper. We are using a Papermates. Papermates, this is a big one, break resistant clear point 0.5 pencil. I do like, this is actually a new item that I've been using, and it has a spring in there. See if, I don't know if you guys can see that, there's a spring in here. So when you press down, there's like a shock, and you break a lot. It's actually sped up my process so much where even though this pencil is very bulky, I would say it's almost 2 of these pencils, which this is the pencil, these are the pencils I used to use, right? The problem is that it doesn't have the shock, and if I press down too hard, the lead breaks. So this has actually sped up the process quite drastically. Then we're using a Crayola colored pencil. I know this sounds strange, but we are using a Crayola colored pencil. The reason why I like the Crayola colored pencils is because they're very hard to erase. Now that's actually the very reason people do not like the the very reason why people do not like the Crayola colored pencils is actually the very reason why I do like the Crayola colored pencils. Now these three items, this is generally what I use, these three items: computer paper, this pencil, and then this pencil. We have entered into using something that you actually do have to go to the art store for, and it's this pencil, or not this pencil, this eraser. This is a Mono Zero Tombow 2.3 eraser. Now this is like a mechanical pencil, but it's an eraser at the top. Farewell, consumed by him. I hope you have a good one, man. Keep it up. Keep shining your light, consumed by him. And anybody out there as well. I hope you guys are shining your light, and don't be afraid to shine your light. Even if you mess up, I would even say even if you mess up. Because there's a lot of verses that go into, perfect love casts out fear. I mean, now take this with a grain of salt. I have heard some pastors say that something about fear is do not fear is mentioned like 365 times in the Bible. I don't know if that's actually correct, so take that with a grain of salt, but I have heard some pastors say that. I don't know, have you guys heard that? Wow, this guy's really gnarly right here. Man, this guy's like a tornado, dude. Look at this guy. How is he doing that? Bro, that guy looked like a tornado. Those are really cool. And also, if any of you guys want me to follow you, just let me know. And I love following other believers. I've heard that, but I've also heard do not fear is indeed mentioned 365 times in the Bible. See? Okay. Yeah, just take it with a grain of salt, because I think I have heard some people say other things as well, too. Okay, so right now we're doing the bread reading technique. Which I guess we could go a little bit deeper into the portraits. I guess maybe that's what we'll do right now. Which we were also going to try and potentially ink it out, but I don't know. The ink's been very intimidating for me, and I also just feel that I don't know if I should be inking them out, but maybe I should be, because it's just good practice, I guess. One for every day of the year. Yeah, that's what I've heard, right? It's almost like a reminder, right? To trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord. Okay, let's work on this hand now, and then we'll try to start working our way down. We might ink this out. I don't know yet. Lately, I will be honest. Lately, I have been on an ink roll. Just because, like, the thing is it's either I'm going to ink it right away, or I'm going to get very intimidated and I don't ink anything out. It may not be phrased that do not fear. I guess that's the other thing, right? Maybe it's not phrased that way. How was your stream? It's consumed by him. What were you guys doing? Have there been any verses you guys have been thinking about? Today I attempted a Bible study devotional on God's timing, which I always feel like so many pastors talk about God's timing. And it's actually weird. I thought there would be way more commentaries on God's timing, but which there are a good amount of commentaries. I just thought there would be way more from when I looked it up. I've been noticing sometimes it's easier to find Bible commentaries on specific verses compared to like an overall topic. Like if you just pick a topic, sometimes it's a little harder to find stuff like that. You see, do not be afraid, don't despair, don't be afraid. Oh, interesting, yeah. I mean, the verses I have right now, somewhat, what that come to my mind is like, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. I might have misquoted that one. That one, and then perfect love casts out fear. What other ones? I know there's a bunch of other ones that mention fear. Sometimes, and I know it sounds weird, sometimes I even think about some like Star Wars thing. You know, like fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Now I know that's not biblical, but I don't know. Sometimes I've just seen Star Wars so much. Yeah.
You real busy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
So I need to put a washer in the shower.
Okay. I'll do it after stream.
Okay. Because my hands aren't strong enough.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it after stream. I have a surprise regarding this coming soon. Amen. Seek him and you will find him. I love Star Wars. I mean, I always kind of, you know, it's weird. Sometimes I wonder, it is strange how, like, it's weird. You know, it's weird when, like, I mean, maybe I just find this weird, but it's weird when, like, I guess certain storylines use names from the Bible, you know, like Luke Skywalker. Well, where did that name come from? Luke, right? It's just, it's kind of funny, right? Okay, let's see here. What are we doing here? We're going to draw this. I don't know. I'm supposed to have this as the Word of God. I don't know how we're going to put it in there. I think I might just do a floating Bible right up here. I'm not sure about the hilt either. Maybe I might just do a simple hilt. Yeah, maybe we'll just do a simple hilt. Not sure though. Have a good one, Consume. Thank you for the raid, bro. You're always raiding me, dude. It's awesome. It's really cool. I really appreciate that, man. But I also apologize. I think my streams are probably pretty boring. I wish I could be entertaining all the time, but, you know, I've noticed if you just keep doing it over and over and over, yeah, it's kind of, sometimes I feel like it gets just mundane and repetitive, and that's kind of what I'm wondering is how do we break the repetitiveness when you kind of get into a flow state, you know? Let's see here. How are we going to do this hilt? I wouldn't know. I'm very inconsistent with things. I mean, I guess that's the thing that I do kind of like about streaming is streaming kind of does get you in this weird, like, consistent mindset, especially if you stream every day. Shout outs to people that stream out every day. Like, it definitely kind of puts you on that kind of, like, consistency mindset, which I think it's good, right? But also, there's kind of also that, like, how do we break the mundane of it all, right? Which is not boring to me, but I just feel like as a viewer, it might be pretty boring to watch. Just me just draw. Because I just feel like just this is just watching just paint dry. Now, I am going to put a little heart right here somewhere. Okay, well, we got this part done. And by the way, if you guys start drawing these characters, so a good way to speed up your process is if you just put a shield right here. See how there's all this stuff that we had another hand right here that would be really hard, which we might actually draw a little bit of that hand sticking out right there. It's your platform, your stage, run it the way you wish. Yeah, that is true. Now, the thing is that I have noticed, man, there's some streamers that they're just, like, always high energy, like, all the time, right? I'm like, man, how do you guys just be like that all the time? Now, the one streamers that I do get a little tripped out on are the ones that are always angry all the time. Or maybe I think they play into it almost like a character, right? They act angry, or they get very angry when something happens in their game, and you're just like, I just feel like, man, I could not live that way. That would just be stressful. Like, holy moly. But I guess some people get angry at different things, right? I think I'm going to put a little heart right here or something. Maybe a heart right here. It's relaxing watching and has its own dialogue while we listen. Now, I am trying to think about Proverbs 28:1, which actually Proverbs 28:1 was the very first Bible verse I remember memorizing. It was, the wicked flee, though no one pursue, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. Which, do you guys remember the very first verse you guys remember memorizing? Now, I think when I was a kid, I actually think I did memorize probably like John 3:16 or like Genesis 1:1 or something, but in terms of like when I kind of got into the Bible on my own accord, right? And I really was like, huh. That one really hit me. I think it's just probably because it mentioned lions. Now I remember, we are going to try and equip a breastplate on here. And what happened to my chat? My chat went, oh, here it is. I don't know if we're going to put a shoulder pad on this guy. I think we might just do like the breastplate. Let's just give it a go. By the way, the other thing, I don't know if anybody tuned in, but this is actually one of the reasons why I like using this colored pencil. Is it kind of gives me an underlayer, so if I go over on top of this, I can erase it, and that underlayer will still be there. What is this? Oh, this is Pedal documentary. I don't remember the first verse memorized, but I can say my favorite verse almost changes daily. Yeah, same here, same here. There's just so many verses that kind of come to mind. I always find it interesting, the verses that come to mind from other believers too. Because I feel like I can't remember every single verse, and every time I meet a believer, they always like bring up a verse. I'm like, huh, I didn't think about that one. Okay, let's experiment with this breastplate. Might keep that breastplate. Maybe we could put even a cross right here. Cause I would want to put a cross like right there, but I guess maybe we could go. Little cross. A little badge. Are any of you guys playing the new WoW expansion? I haven't gotten it yet. Okay, let's do this deltoid. I feel like, so I do want to say I don't really play too many games at the moment. I feel like this is basically my video game. It's either I'm going to be drawing or I'm going to be playing. I mean, I guess I could do both, but I do know generally if I'm either going to be playing the video game or I'm going to be drawing. I just try and treat this as the video game now. Okay, let's keep going down. I potentially want to ink this up, but I don't know. Let me change the music. We're changing the music, everybody. We're going to this one. Actually, let's see here. What music should we listen to? I'm going to listen to this. Okay, let's work on this part right here. Now see how we did this like armor like this? I think, you know what I might do? I might even like make it a little bit like it has like that kind of like that little ridge right there. I haven't really done that. Let's see how we did this little ridge. So maybe we can take this element and put it into other areas too. I'm not sure if we should have like a knee pad. We might just have like boots or something. Maybe he's gonna be wearing shin guards. It's kind of like playing an RPG game. If you start drawing this way, it's basically like we're playing an RPG game, everybody. We're just grinding out these items. But also we're taking elements. So see how we did this little ridge? We're gonna take this same element and we're gonna add it into this this shin guard right here. Like that. And we can put the little ridges like that. I haven't played WoW since around when Kata came out, then jumped back in for Pandaland for a short time. Yeah, so the other funny thing, if you guys didn't know, this stream that you guys are watching right now, this actually used to be a WoW stream. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I didn't used to do Bible studies. I didn't used to do bike riding on the stream. I didn't even used to draw on the stream. How this stream actually started out, it was actually me playing WoW. But the thing is my computer's kind of a potato. Well, the computer that I started streaming on. And so I would be playing WoW, but I would be playing it on like the lowest settings. And so like, I'm pretty sure nobody would want to watch WoW like that. So, yeah. I'm gonna put a peace sign on here too, because these are supposed to be the boots of the gospel. I mean, maybe right here. These are supposed to be the boots of the gospel of peace. Yeah, 7 FPS. What category? I think I'm in art, right? Or did I not change it? I might have not changed it. I might be in art at the moment. I generally go just chatting, BMX Streets, the video game, but I just ride BMX. And then health and fitness and health. I actually get a lot of views from fitness and health, by the way, because there's not many. It's not a saturated category. Because I feel like that's the other thing is some of these categories, like there's just so many people, right? So in order to find some of these smaller streamers, you have to like go back like 50 pages, right? Unless you change like your view count thing. But uh-huh.
As long as roll was well, so I could get enough grip on it.
Okay.
So it's done.
I'll help you out when I'm done.
Don't have to, it's fixed.
Okay. So we got this part done. I think this looks kind of janky still. So we might have to go back into this part. Figure out how to... By the way, these Lion Knights are very hard for me to draw. I don't draw too many of these Lion Knights because they are a bit more challenging for me. But it is kind of fun to try and do them every now and then. If you guys have any tips on how to draw Lion Knights. The hardest part about these Lion Knight characters is trying to get this lion head to like kind of seem like it's for the character. It's always hard for some reason. Let me change the music. We're changing the music. The other cool thing, if you guys didn't know, I generally listen to game music a lot. Because it's copyright free. Okay, what are we doing right here? We could put a strap. We do have a strap right there. We also have these little ridges. Maybe we should put the ridges on the sword as well. I think we're gonna actually, let's see here. Let's try and work on this shield now. Oops, I think I got that. Oh no, no, it's not good. There's a little crack in there. Sounds weird, huh? Yeah. That was more dramatic. Huh. What music should we listen to? What about this one? This part's very confusing. I don't know what I'm doing right here. Guess we could just put a... Oh yeah, we need to put a belt up on here as well. Let's do that. Okay, so this is the middle of the character. See, this is actually a good thing, because I don't know if you guys didn't see like the beginning of this, but this is actually built on 3 blocks. There's this block right here, and then there's this block. You can't really see it, but it's right there. This block right here, and then also see this block right here. This is actually the pelvis block right here. But then from there, we can actually figure out that the belt would like sit like about right there. So let's try and draw belts up in here. Subtle belt, I guess. I forgot we actually put this. So this is actually the hard part, because we actually have another leg over here, but we have to somehow draw this shin. Well, I guess if you want it unison, you don't have to have your armor pieces unison, but we have to figure out how we're going to draw this shape right here, but over on this leg right here, and how much. And we can already see it's not fully wrapped around the leg. I was kind of thinking that it would kind of have like a little belt buckle right there. Put some like chainmail right here. This character is weird. This one's hard. We're entering into the very hard stage of, I kind of don't like it and it's kind of cringy, but I've already put this much time into it, so we just got to go with it. So that's where we're at, everybody, if you guys are wondering. And this is how a lot of these drawings are. I kind of like, they're like so cringy where I kind of don't want to finish them, but we just somehow finish them. We try again the next day. we're gonna use this pencil. We're gonna see if we can put a cross on here. We might ink it out. We might maybe mess around with the ink. I don't know if I should have the cross go all the way down. I guess we'll have it like that. Or should I have it like stopped right there? And we'll have it all the way down. I know some of the shields that I've seen, they'll just do like a little cross like that, and then some of the shields go all, like it's like a full-on cross right there. I guess we'll do full-on cross. I'm also trying to figure out where I could put a Bible up in here. I might put the Bible right here or something. I guess we could put another cross right here too on the shin guard. Something I like to do as well. Now that's kind of the fun thing to do, is you could just add in a bunch of little crosses. Yeah, it's strange that people are even watching this stream, I'm gonna be honest. I streamed for a long time and not many people would watch. I'm kind of used to it, actually. It took me a little bit of time to learn how to kind of like talk and draw at the same time. I will say that was kind of something I wasn't used to in the beginning when I started streaming the drawing. Do we do a tail? I don't know if we are going to do a tail. Yeah, maybe we will do a tail then. Land tails are kind of fun to draw. Now I'm kind of just guessing right now, right? But now I will be honest, I've never read Chronicles of Narnia. Does that have any biblical connotations to it? Because I know there's a line in that movie, or that book, but I've never read the book. Because I know C.S. Lewis was a believer, right? Was that before he got converted or after he got converted? We're gonna kind of commit to some of these lines now, by the way. The entire series does. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that, huh? It's always interesting seeing the drawing process. I guess I should put in the flaming darts, right? We did it last time. Where's our last drawing? I guess we don't have to look at the last drawing, but I remember I did the darts like really kind of like, made it look like it was in the shield. Or like they were like getting flung. We'll do one right here. And then we'll do like one right here maybe. Which it is kind of strange to think about one of the weapons that the enemy uses are flaming darts. Have you guys heard your pastors or any other believers talk about that? I have started on The Magician's Nephew, but never finished it. I really should finish it. Is that a C.S. Lewis book? I've never read any of C.S. Lewis. Didn't like I heard something like J.R. Tolkien like converted him or something like that, right? Or he was like a friend of J.R. Tolkien. Oh, first book of the Narnia series. Interesting. Huh. They went to school together, huh? I did not know that. Trying to think how I could do... I mean, I guess maybe I could write spirit right here. And then maybe put a book right there. Let's see what that would look like. Because it's like the sword of the spirit, something like that. Not sure about that. I think we are going to try and put a Bible right there somehow. Let's try that. Let's try a different, I don't know what that end cap thing's called. I know this part's called the hilt, but... Lewis got into loads of trouble trying to get his books accepted by the literary community since he mixed all the legend mythical creatures together. I did not know that, huh? Now, it is kind of strange. I did meet some believers, actually somewhat recently, a couple months ago, and they were like totally against like J.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, which I've never met any believers that were like that, but it was really weird. I guess you can't make all the believers happy, right? I didn't even know there was any believers that thought that those guys were controversial. Because I feel like it's always the opposite, right? But basically what these guys were bringing up is they were saying like J.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, they wrote about magic and stuff like this. But I don't know, man. I never thought about it that way. I feel like every believer I guess not every believer because I just met those guys, but like most believers I meet, they always say good things about C.S. Lewis and J.R. Tolkien. I wonder how I could do... Maybe I'll do like a book like a Bible like this. How can we draw the... I mean, I guess that's how I kind of want to... Let's see here. This is supposed to be like the sword of the spirit. I will be honest, I've never done a book like this before. I don't want to draw a bike right here. That'd be cheap. I've actually never drawn the Lion Knight with a bike, so I guess this area is kind of bland. What we can do is we could take this proportion right here and just draw a bike right there. Bikes are fun to draw. I've never known much about them. I wasn't allowed to read some fantastical books, Harry Potter and stuff, but that's obviously different. I think... No, actually, I don't know if this is true. I mean, I've never read those books either. I've seen the movies. I'm going to be honest. I'll be really honest with you guys. I was never a big reader growing up. I mean, you know, it's kind of funny. I would always just watch the movies and stuff like that. But who was the person that wrote Harry Potter? I think she might be a believer too. I might be wrong on that though, but... God created magic or science. If educated, trusting in him is the best direction. Now, what I have heard some believers go into is I guess there are different, I guess, schools of magic or something like that. And also just thinking about the magi, and some people say like magic is a derivative of the word magi, and there was the 3 magi that went and saw the Lord Jesus Christ when he was a baby in the barn. Some people equate magi with the word magistrate, so I don't know. And thinking about Lord of the Rings, it is kind of strange thinking about that there was the evil magic, and then there was the magic that they were trying to use for good or something like that. But I guess that gets controversial, and that's kind of what those believers that I met were bringing up. But I don't know. How are we going to draw this bike? I think I kind of want to push it a little bit more out. It's so funny. I've never drawn a Lion Knight with the bike. This is hilarious. I do want to say I apologize to anybody if I'm offending anybody, or because also here's the other thing I want to bring up, because I know now I'm starting to meet some younger believers, and they go, well, I'm not allowed to do this or that or play this game or play Pokemon or whatever. I want to tell you, if anybody out there is even going to watch the stream like that, I just want to say I'm not the grand arbiter of what you should and shouldn't be doing. I guess that's up to your parents to decide, but I will say it is confusing a lot of younger believers, especially if you're raised in public schooling, and it's like the whole when you're a little kid and you see all your other friends doing something and you go, well, why are all my friends able to do that? And you tell that to your parents. And so unfortunately that's happening more and more and more, I think. A clear way to understand the difference between whether it's good or bad magic, as miracles are also considered the same. Do they rely on Jesus, or they think they are the source? Huh. That's an interesting one, huh? Definitely when I was little, I struggled with that, but I realized my mother was just watching out for me. I'm grateful for her. Yeah. Yeah, because, I recently, met some believers and are like, Pokemon's evil and all that. I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, and I feel bad because I'm just like, I feel I feel bad because I know their friends and stuff are playing Pokemon or whatever, you know, and it's just like, I don't know, man. It's so strange, like, thinking about, like, secular society, but then also thinking that, like, some believers think that it's not, you shouldn't be doing this or that. But then, I don't know. I wish that, I honestly just wish that more of, like, secular companies would just give God even just a little bit of glory, right? Like, it's not that hard to do, right? But I think now what kind of is strange is then when the kids go to school and they're like, well, my friends are doing this, and that's, I think, when it gets hard. I might not have that one right there. That one's kind of getting in the way. That dart right there is kind of getting in the way. That's the devil's plan to distract any way possible away from Jesus. That's the short answer, yeah. Very true. No, the other thing is that the other thing I've been thinking about, well, actually not I have been thinking about, if you guys type in biblical stewardship, like Bible or sermon on YouTube, dude, there's like hundreds and hundreds of sermons on biblical stewardship, right? Now, I think it might have been, I don't remember if it was Tony Evans or Wash, I don't know who it was, honestly, I forgot who it was, but it was one of those like gnarly, like kind of a bigger name pastor, and he said that basically all of the ills that we're seeing in society and humanity today is because of the lack of biblical stewardship. Like kind of like hiding our talents in the dirt. I'm going to put a little gusset right there. It's so funny, this character has a bike that's just hilarious. He's going to have brakes too. This is just hilarious, just drawing the bikes like this. Wrong is wrong even if everyone is doing it. Right is right even if no one is doing it. I mean, you say, I heard something similar, like do the right thing even when no one is watching. Isn't that what integrity means? I think that's what integrity means, right? That'd be a good Bible study. Integrity. I mean, that's kind of the weird thing too, is like, it's strange, like thinking about like Matthew 5:14 through 16. It's about like, you are a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. I mean, you hear so many believers say, we need to shine our light for God's glory and stuff like that, right? Well, it's kind of weird because within the some sermons that talk about biblical stewardship, a lot of, basically every single sermon that talks about biblical stewardship brings up the parable of the talents, right? And how if we think about the parable of the talents, there's the one servant that goes and hides his talent in the ground. And it's weird because some pastors go into like, well, we shouldn't be afraid to hide our talent in the ground. We should be shining our light for God's glory, right? And if we follow Jesus Christ, he brings us into the light, right? But I guess the thing is that's strange about the light is when we are in the light, sometimes our sins get exposed. Sometimes our failures get exposed. Sometimes our embarrassments get exposed. Our weaknesses get exposed when we do go into the light. You know, I actually might do like some. I just saw this guy. He has like some V bars. I kind of want to put V bars on this bike, maybe. Maybe not, but. Isn't that our cross to bear? I guess, yeah. I mean, thinking about that is strange that you bring that up, because there is that kind of that thing where, you know, the Lord Jesus Christ, he says, you know, pick up our cross daily, right? Now, I've read a lot of commentaries on that, and it's weird because I even get confused even when I think about it right now. If you look up like that verse, I forgot what verse it is, but it's that the verse that says, pick up our cross daily, deny ourselves, and pick up our cross daily. A lot of people equate that with like picking up our burdens daily and stuff like that. But the thing is that what some of the commentaries go into is that it's almost like picking up our cross is almost like, would we be willing to even sacrifice our life for God, you know? Because that's actually what Jesus did for us. And man, it's really strange to think about that. I might just write spirit on this sword. I don't know if I am going to do the floating. Maybe I could do a little one. It's like hard to like draw it in there right. I might do the verse right here. And he said to them all, if anyone will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. Yeah, that's an interesting one, right? And the cross was not this little thing, you know. If you look up, I looked up like, well, how heavy was the cross? Some people say the cross was like 300 pounds, I was like, what in the world? I never knew it was that heavy, you know? Like, so that's actually why I do like looking for crosses too, right? In a video game, in music, in anything, I just like find, like even the littlest cross. Maybe that's what I should do. I should put like the littlest little cross right up in here. That's what I like to find. Well, you know what? I might actually do just a circle one. That's what I might do. A little cross right there. Well, definitely a large weight. Yeah, there's like these guys that on YouTube, they like built one and they're like carrying it around. They're like, what in the world? We didn't know it was like this. I didn't know it was like that either. Draw this tail. I feel like I need to work on the head again. Yeah, I like finding crosses, even like the Dogtown. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, Lords of Dogtown. But a lot of these guys from that movie became gnarly believers. Man, I kind of want to ink it out, but also there's a part of me that doesn't. Let's see if I actually went a little bit too far on the hilt, and look, I can't erase it. No. We're gonna have to live with it. Fudge. That's the problem. That's what happens when I speed up. I mean, you can erase it a little bit, but it's just there. I have to live with it. This will just go in. This. I kind of even want to maybe push that halo down a little bit. Maybe we'll do that too, because that halo looks a little high. I also, when I do these illustrations, I also think about how I'm taking the picture of it. And sometimes if you draw something too close to this edge at the top, it's like hard to get a picture of it for some reason, because it like always like crops it weird. That guy in the clip just flipped off his bike on the... Holy moly, I wasn't watching. These guys are straight warriors. I actually watched this last week. That's actually a really gnarly BMX rider, Matt Hoffman. Did he have a cross on his... Wait a minute. I think I just saw a cross on his... Oh wait, no, that's... Was that a cross? I don't know if that was a cross. Wait a minute. I thought this, I don't know if it is a cross. I was thinking that this little thing on right here might be a cross, but I don't think it is. Maybe it is. It kind of looks like a cross, but I don't know if it is. I think it might actually be a cross, huh? But yeah, I also want to say, you guys are in no obligation to watch this stream. You guys could just lurk. You guys don't even have to write anything. Because I feel like my stream's probably pretty boring. And basically just watch paint dry. That one's a little bit right. I pushed it one more notch down. I think that one's going to work. That one is going to work. Let's commit to it. This is our commitment pencil, by the way. I guess I wouldn't say I'm judging myself. I just don't want to waste anybody's time. That's the thing. I do appreciate you guys even spending a little bit of time. Let's put a little buckle right here. It'll be like a buckle for the shoes, I guess. Very chill stream. It's kind of crazy. I actually got burnt out at drawing. There was this guy, his name's Creative Fit, and he kind of like got me back into drawing. It's kind of crazy. I wonder what happened to that guy. I hope you're doing all right, Creative Fit, if you're out there. He's actually the one that got me affiliate. It was insane. Like, this guy would just like, because I would do these really long streams, and he would just have the stream on just so I could get a little viewer thing. Now I do need to get into this again. See how these lines are like really thick in here? I gotta thicken some of these lines out up in here. I'm kind of hesitant. If you guys didn't notice, I'm like hesitant, like chicken scratching up in there. Let's kind of go back in there and let's actually go into this as well. And also might put in a couple more darts. That's two. Two. Lion Knight, Lion Knight. I might put like one dart right by the peace sign. There is no expectation bringing us into your world of art is nice. Thank you. I don't think I might put another one right here. I'll put one more up in here, maybe. Let's go into this a little bit more confidently. Chicken scratched a lot of these lines. Which maybe I should just go in and ink it right now, but I think I just bent the paper, darn. We bent the paper, no. Oh well, we're gonna have to live with that now. That's the problem about traditional medium, I guess, darn it. Oh well. Oh well, I guess it's gonna just have to give it some character. Let's bring this back. So the other thing that's hard about these drawings too is sometimes like I do want to redo this, but then I'm in that mode of like, should I erase it? Should I just keep it? Hesitating a lot on these lines. These lines are getting janky. I should try and ink it out. Should we ink it out or should we not? This is the question. I wonder if I should ink it out. Let me change the music.
That's right, buckos. It's time to get squeaky clean with Minecraft.
I might redo these eyes. Let's redo them. Coming into it. I have to remember that we can try so many variations up in here, so. These things are hard. The line nights are hard. I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing. It just feels like I'm guessing right here. Working on this sword. We're guessing on a lot of this stuff, everybody. What are we doing, everybody? I don't know. This is where the doubt sets in, everybody. I've gone so far in now. This is where the doubt starts, and I start questioning if I should finish this thing. I do kind of want to just straight up just ink this thing out. I'm wondering if I should put a little floating Bible right there too. Huh. I mean, it is supposed to be the Word of God, honestly. Maybe and take that one off again. I don't know how that would be right there. Maybe we might go back to the one we did earlier. How do we have that as the Word of God? Maybe the one that we did earlier, but maybe smaller. Guess maybe that's gonna be it. Should we just commit to it so I don't change my mind? I've tried like 4 different little things right there. Thank you. I think somebody phoned me. Thank you for that. See all the different variations we tried, everybody. Now I gotta commit to it now. You guys can't tell. Sometimes I'm very I don't make these commitments, but I feel like that's why I started liking this pencil. Because sometimes I'll just be sitting there just fiddling. Just like, I want to try this. Now it's like, nope, now we're going with it. No, I can't change it. Let me change this. I'm watching up in here. Blank cat. What else are we doing in here? Do you guys have any tips or tricks to offer me? I kind of want to redo that eye again. Let's do it. You see, this is where it gets kind of challenging because there's sometimes you're just like, I don't want to hit it again. But also there's that time where I just like, you just get that inclination or just like, I feel like I could just do that eye better. I gotta just think about it as a video game. We're just grinding this out. How can we do this, everybody? How could we do this? The thing is I'm also trying to like think, should I make this guy look angry? Make him look. I just feel like the eyes are very sensitive. To just the slightest little thing. Because I don't want him to make him look too angry. That's the hardest part, because it's so easy. Like, if you made that eye just like one little degree, like right down there, it makes the character look very angry. And the thing is like, a lot of characters I did in the past, like, I didn't really like think about that, because if you see like a lot of like characters in video games and stuff, they actually kind of do look angry, because they're just like, you know, you want to make a character look stern and like hardy and stuff like that. It's like, how can we make a character look not too angry, but also able to protect themselves? That is the challenge, everybody. If you guys have any tips on that, let me know. Okay, so see how there's this cheekbone right here? Let's put one over. One right there. And also, there's many lines right here that I guessed. You can see I started just chicken scratching it, just. You can tell I'm guessing a lot of these lines. So let's kind of go back and hit this stuff and make them a little bit more confident. Because I really like these like lines where it's just like one line. I'm also okay, so I'm thinking that the hair is kind of going like so also let's try and think about it. Okay, so we have to think that there's this one right here. Okay, so that one started from the chin, or the cheekbone right there. Okay, let's start it like that. And then the next one, it ends at the ear. There we go. And then the next one goes right there. And then that. I don't know about that. No, that part's really hard right there. I don't know what I'm doing. You guys are seeing the struggle right now. Anybody watching this right now. The beginning's pretty easy, but this stuff now, it gets kind of confusing. Should we do little whiskers? We'll just do like little lines for the... Going into a lot of this character right now, or this portrait. We got one little tooth right there. It's hard to see, but there's a little tooth right there. Give him the shield a little bit more. Maybe we might have the shield a little bit battered. Like he's blocked some blows. Let's put some contour lines up. I think they're called contour lines. I actually don't know what they're called. Maybe form lines. You guys know what those are called? I don't know what they're called. I just call them like roundy lines. Kind of, it's almost like sculpture lines. Well, I guess we could put a little seed right there. Kind of with like Luke 8:11. I forgot about that actually. I'll put a little seed up here, everybody. Plant cat. Little seed. The littlest of seeds. Matthew 13:32. It is the smallest of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is larger than all the garden plants and becomes a tree so that the birds of the air come and make nests in its branches. Let's redo this halo. There's some chicken scratches up in there. I don't know how else to call them. I just call those lines little chicken scratch lines. It's basically lines that I'm not confident on, and I just start guessing them. And sometimes I have to redo the line a lot of times to get like confident with it. And unfortunately, I actually just made those kind of permanent, but we're gonna have to just go with it. Okay, let's do this. I don't know if we're inking this one, everybody. I'm kind of scared to ink it. Look at that cat. Holy chabunga. Chicken scratch lines right there. We have a little heart right there. That heart's a little off place. Let's make it more like a heart because we are called to love our enemies. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's why I started putting that in there. Because sometimes I get comments saying that I'm promoting violence, so this is my way of, okay, I'm not forgetting those verses, everybody. I know this guy looked kind of gnarly, but that's why I'm going to put the heart in there, because we're actually called to love our enemies. I mean, it sounds crazy. How crazy would it be if every single gun just had a heart on it? That'd be insane. Imagine if every gun just had love your enemies inscribed on it. That would be gnarly. There we go. That way, if anybody says I'm promoting violence, we have a little heart in there. I am still on, Fufu. This is generally how much I normally stream. Though my streams have been a little shorter. I have been trying to make them shorter, but today's drawing is actually kind of challenging. I knew what I was getting into today, though. I was like, I'm going to try and do a Lion Knight. And if you guys see the epilogue of all the drawings that I've done, this is actually probably the 4th Lion Knight I've done. I haven't done too many of these Lion Knights. The reason why I don't do these Lion Knights is because they're really hard. This part is very hard. This right here. I've literally had to redraw that like 7 times. Maybe 5. I hope you're doing good. Fufu, what are you up to, man? What are you up to, Fufu? You find any solace on the question that you said to me earlier? Did you look it up on YouTube? I'm gonna be honest, that's my best answer, bro. Because sometimes I feel like I'm not the right one to give certain answers out because I don't want to, like, you know, like, lead you astray or say something wrong or, you know, something like that. So I apologize if I can't answer you all the way. And I forgot I put chainmail right here. I guess we should put some over here. Maybe he's wearing like chainmail up in here too. When in doubt, chainmail it out. I guess this will be chainmail too. Yeah, it would be holy water gun instead of living water. Healing instead of hurting. Well, the other thing is there's also kind of like controversial things on, you know, when do we defend ourselves? I will be honest. I will be honest. I have asked some questions on when are there times when we actually don't love our enemies? Are there any times like that, right? And it's like, I have asked believers that, and sometimes they don't want to say that there are probably times like that, but I think there would be, especially like if you had to make a brash decision if someone was going to hurt your family, you know, like what would you take? Would you defend them or something like that? I think there are those decisions, and unfortunately we do live in the period where we have, you know, technology in the form of guns that kills people in the matter of seconds, right? So, you know, in my own personal thing, I would say that if you were in that, now take my words with a grain of salt, I don't know if I'm fully correct, I might be completely wrong on this, but I would like to think that if you were in a situation where your family was in jeopardy and you had the opportunity to take them out with a gun or something, I mean, I think you would probably do that. Just because of our technology that we have at the moment. And I know it sounds really weird for me to say that, but because I mean, I'm going to be honest, I wish we could just love our enemies all the time. But I think just because of where technology is at, maybe it's different. But then also there are some believers that are like fully just like pacifists, kind of more like Leo Tolstoy and what's that guy's name? Dostoevsky. I think those guys were part of this band called the Wanderers. I did some studies. I've read some I've actually read a lot of Leo Tolstoy and a bit of, yeah, basically I haven't read any Dostoevsky. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but what was weird about Leo Tolstoy is I think he was a military general, and what started happening is that all these believers he would meet, they were like, well, why are we killing our enemies? Shouldn't we be feeding them? Shouldn't we be doing good to them? And it started causing some sort of controversies within, like, I guess just to sum it all up, killing people, right? It's like, you know, and I don't know, it's weird. I'm not the grand arbiter of what to do and what not to do, I will say that, but it is a weird thing to think about. Well, tomorrow I'm going to ask the lady out. No worries, bro. Every prayer would be appreciated. You would shoot them in the leg, huh? Now, I would like to think that hopefully the Lord would lead us not to be in those situations in the first place, you know, but I mean, I guess that's what I think sometimes, but Kayala, I think there's a difference though. You can love your enemies, but at the same time you have a duty to protect your family. It's why police officers often weep after being left with no choice but to defend themselves. Yeah, very true, huh? Oh, you were the new follower. Well, thank you for that response. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. Now, I do have some friends that are Catholic and stuff, and I do follow many Christian subreddits and stuff like that, and also I am on some Christian forums and stuff like that, and many times you hear a lot of questions from like Catholics and stuff like this, right? Now the weird question that I heard from some Catholic, or one Catholic that brought it up, is they said something about like, making disciples of all nations. So, but what happens if, like, say potentially like the Catholic Church, like the guy was bringing up, what happens if there was like churches in every single country, right? But then what happens if there's a world war? Would believers ever have to fight other believers? And it was actually a very controversial question, because I was like, whoa. I didn't even think about something like that, but because we are called to make disciples of all nations. Stuff I didn't even think about. And I know a Catholic asked that, but also I think that question goes with basically any believer, honestly. Just because of we are called to make disciples of all nations. Let's see here. Some countries have no guns, police officers. I think it came from Consumed by Him raid, maybe? Oh, yeah. I think you probably did come from the Consumed by Him raid. I also want to say I don't even know any of what to answer these questions, so. And right now I need to finish this out, because I'm just kind of just like. I kind of don't like when I'm in that headspace of just kind of like guessing. I really like when it's just like one line. Okay, I guess we're gonna draw a cheesy bike on this character, which is ridiculous that a Lion Knight would have a bike, but I mean, I guess maybe he's a paladin or something. So let's draw this bike, everybody. Even though I know this seems ridiculous that he would have a bike, but they're fun to draw. And I guess this is a first for me. I haven't drawn a Lion Knight with a bike before, so. Yeah, I thought so. I had to leave a lurk there. Glad to find your stream, loving the art. Oh, awesome. Yeah, there's a bunch of other believers that are artists that I've been meeting. I haven't met any actually in a while, but they are out there. And hopefully there's more and more that start streaming, because hopefully we can learn from each other. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you, these are the things that I'm using, by the way. I know a lot of artists like to see what we're using, right? This is just computer paper right here. So we're using just computer paper. There's computer paper. Then we're using this Paper Mate, break resistant, clear point 0.5, and it has a spring in here that doesn't break the lead as much, and these things are really, really nice. This has actually sped up my process quite dramatically, actually, because when you're like drawing, it's just like your lead breaks. This has actually sped up the process a lot, which I didn't think so, because I actually kind of like to use minimal items, by the way. So this was my main pencil of choice, just this, but the lead breaks so easy. But then this one, these are just Crayola colored pencils. And we use the Crayola colored pencils because you can use a layering system and see right there how I messed that hilt up. Well, I can't really erase it anymore. It's just kind of just there now. Even though but the thing is, this is why people don't like the Crayolas. But this is actually the reason why I do like the Crayolas, is because it makes me commit to things. So I call it the commitment pencil, which we're actually doing a commitment layer right here. And when we use these pencils, we can kind of like flip flop. So we can kind of be like, okay, I'm going to commit to it, and then go and do a finalized layer on top. It makes them 20% cooler. Can literally use anything for art, yeah. No, I have done a lot of different materials. I used to be mainly a digital artist. That's the kind of the crazy thing. Now, what got me into traditional art was actually kind of a strange circumstance. I mean, I used to do everything on like Photoshop and Painter X and stuff like these programs, right? And the thing was, is then I had my computer a long time ago. I had a nice Alienware laptop, and it broke. My laptop broke on me, right? And so then it basically forced me, because I didn't have enough money to get another one. It basically just forced me to just start drawing traditionally, and then ever since then I just kind of got hooked, and I haven't really done too much digital art in a long time. I used to do a lot of traditional art, but now I primarily do digital. I guess now I think about it, no, I have actually done some fairly recently, a couple months ago. I do have an iPad, and I've been messing around with like the animation Flip-a-Clip. It's this free program called Flip-a-Clip, and you can use it and practice animation and stuff like that. We're gonna go with these bars actually. Go a little bit more in this time. There really isn't anything like traditional art, though. I should return to it. Yeah, it's fun. I kind of like it. It's kind of weird to say this, but I'm actually faster drawing traditionally. I think it's just because you're kind of just limited, kind of the limitation. But it's also kind of like a double-edged sword in some ways, right? Because there are a lot of things where I was actually faster traditionally. Digitally. The one thing I miss. The biggest tool that I miss from digital art is the ability to use the clipping thing, like the little clipping thing, and you could clip, like say I wanted to make this book smaller, I could just like clip it and then just make it smaller right there. That's the one thing I really, really miss about digital. I really, really miss that. And so now we're gonna. This is actually a good example of what we kind of do. Is if you can see, there's actually this. So I generally start with this pencil, and we do a quick little like kind of layer on that one, and then what I do is then I erase this one and check it out. Then the green layer is left, and then for some reason that green pencil, it's like made out of this weird wax stuff, and the green pencil stays, but the top layer can be erased. But this is actually why people don't like this pencil though, because you can't erase them. But and then what I do then is I go into another layer with the other pencil. Which maybe I might just make this like a spirit bike. I kind of like doing that. Like last character I did, I just made it like a spirit bike, and I didn't even go into that. I just kind of like made it like this faint looking thing. That's what we might do on this one. I used to love animating and Flip-a-Clip. Still have the animations on my old phone. Yeah, I have some. I still have them as well. Flip-a-Clip's cool. Maybe I should start messing around with it again. But man, animation's hard. Holy moly! Anybody out there that does animation? Like, especially like it's so crazy. Like seeing like the old school like '90s anime. Bro, they put so much work into that, man. It's like I feel like a lot of people don't actually realize how long sometimes it just takes to make a single frame of some of those like old anime, like traditional animes from like the 90s and stuff like that, which I'm heavily inspired by that stuff. I really like the style of the old animes. Yes, that's why traditional scares me now having to commit. I know the transform tool. That's what it's called. Yeah, the transform tool. Now, should I go into this bike? I think we are. But I also kind of like just having it just like kind of like this now. It's kind of funny. I think we might just have it like that. We might just have it like a spirit bike. Like the spirit bike we did the other day. Just put little stars. The spirit bike. I think he's just summoning it out or something. No, I kind of just want to ink it out, but man, it's already taken this long. So the other thing is the inking pens that I use. I've been using these ones, the Microns. I used to use this different pen. I don't know where it is at the moment, but it wasn't until I took class in high school I was able to understand half of what I was doing. Animation takes so long. Even just emotes and alerts on Twitch, I couldn't imagine taking a feature film, let alone a short film. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I guess that's kind of why there was like, there'd be like the people and they would do like the keyframing, and you would do the keyframing and then they outsource all of the kind of in the middle of the keyframes, which I guess that's kind of what like that Studio Ghibli guy, Hayao Miyazaki, does, right? He's like kind of the one, he puts in the keyframes, and then he has all his little cohorts and little, you know, people I guess, doing all this stuff in between. We're going to put this verse right up in here. Put a verse by verse in here. I don't know if I am going to finish that bike out. I kind of like it, just kind of like, you can faint see it. We're going to put Proverbs 28:1 in here. This one we're actually going to write in here, though. So we're looking at Proverbs 28:1. Bring out the Bible, everybody. Now, I will be honest, I wish there was more like Christian animation stuff. You would think that there would be like a vast majority of like gnarly Christian games, Christian entertainment, Christian 90s animation look, but I mean, I know there are some like Bible ones, and I know like Trigun. The guy that made Trigun, he's Catholic. Some people have said that the dude that made Evangelion, there are some like Christian connotations in Evangelion. Proverbs 28:1. Where's Proverbs 28:1? This is the verse we're putting in there, everybody. If you have your Bibles, you can turn into this page right over here. We're going to be writing this verse right here. The wicked flee though when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. The very first verse I remember memorizing. And why is this video paused? What's this? Okay, what am I doing? Oh yeah, we're riding this first now. Almost got sidetracked. Let's write this verse, everybody. Now, for some reason, I don't know, it's weird. I can't write in a straight thing, so I always like turn the page like this. And that's how I write for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so I'll put it right here. I'll write right there. Okay, let's see here. Hopefully it fits in here. I'm pretty sure it will. The wicked flee. Have you guys ever seen a handwritten Bible? So I've been told, actually not I've been told, I saw a documentary actually last night. It was on, I think it's called Medieval Madness on YouTube. He said that like there used to be believers and it was a profession and they would write Bibles and it would take them 1 year to finish the entire Bible. Like I think it's pencil, ink, and, you know, ornating it. But it would take them 1 year to write that thing, which is crazy to think about, right? And it's so crazy that right now we just print millions and millions of Bibles just like right off the press, you know? When no one pursues. Comma. But the right she O-U-S are bold as a lion. Are bold as a lion. Now, should I write at the top or at the bottom? I might write at the bottom. I guess we'll write at the... That's kind of what I kind of get mixed up to. I don't know if I should write it up here or down here. I think we'll write it at the top. There you go, a little bit more room up there. Proverbs 28:1. Ow, my hand hurts for some reason. Okay, let's go for it. Put this thing up in here. Let me put some little lines in here so it kind of looks like the Bible. And we actually missed a page. So I know like the Bible kind of looks like this. Like the two sections. So if you guys ever draw a little Bible, I feel like that's how I draw them. Or like the little words, even though I can't put words in there, you know. What do we watch? Oh, this is Pedal. We could actually watch this. There's no copyright to this. You do the same when you write? Okay, everybody. Holy moly. I always feel like these drawings take me a long time, but... Where's that green pen? There it is. I think we're gonna put a signature right down here. I just do it in green. I might put another peace sign right there, because we got one right there. Now I'm wondering, should I do the bike? I don't know if I am. Oh my goodness, we're already at 6 hours. That's crazy. I wanted to get this done in 5 hours, but not 5 hours for the drawing. I think it's taken 2 hours, or it's actually maybe taken 3 hours to do this one. It's weird because I feel like last week I was doing these drawings like really fast, because I feel like if I'm on like just a really short deadline, I actually draw faster. I'm gonna put a little bit of orange in here for the flames. Let's block the flaming arrows. I almost kind of want to erase, see how this bike's kind of like this? I might erase just this tail, just so it's kind of like, it kind of looks like that, but over here. Let me just go in with it right here. And that's actually weird. I haven't really messed around with that. Like having kind of it like go from this into the line work. I haven't really messed too much into that, but now I'm kind of intrigued. We're intrigued, everybody. Let me change this. I feel like this video does not do it justice on the unless we listen to the lyrics. Okay, everybody, we're about done up in here. I am tired. I should have got this done an hour ago. It's okay. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put on the wooden thing and call it a day. So we do use these things. This is where I put the drawing so we can get a thumbnail. Man, this one's cringy. I'm gonna be honest. That's how a lot of these drawings end up. I just like think, I'm like, man, that thing is cringy looking, but sometimes how I think about it now is I just go, okay, well, we just have to go through the cringe to get to the good ones, I guess. Let me erase some of this construction lines up in here. You can still see that box that we did. It's pretty crazy. We also do have a forgot I have a squirrel tail. Clean this off a little bit. Okay. Holy moly, this one was gnarly. You guys have witnessed the cringe of this drawing. I'd like to say that probably 2/3 of the drawings that I draw, I end up looking at them the next day. I'm just like, oh man, that's cringy. And we also have this bent paper right here. Unfortunately, I don't know if I could fix that, but I was erasing it and I bent the paper, man. Darn. Oh well. Let me turn off all the doodads right now. So we're going to turn off image slideshow, BMX video. We're going to do this one. We're going to do the text, the chat. Let me put on a different song up in here and we'll get the thumbnail, everybody. And then maybe we can raid somebody, hopefully, maybe, if anybody's watching this. Let's see here. Okay, everybody. Man, if you guys tuned in, holy moly, I apologize if I said anything wrong. I don't even know if I'm doing any of this stuff right. But I'd like to think hopefully we can try and give God glory somehow. So if you guys want some close-ups, kind of go into it. I like to put little seeds because it reminds me of Luke 8:11. Now the parable is this: the seed is the word of God. I'd like to think we're kind of trying to depict a little bit of the armor of God: helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, belt of truth, boots of the gospel of peace. That's why I put a peace sign right there. Sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Shield of faith, by which we can extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one. But then also thinking about Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no one pursues, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. Kind of thinking about the Paladin class, and how the Paladin gets the mount. And yeah, some of the close-ups we got in here. Man, let's count the crosses. We have 1, 2, 3. We got 3 crosses in here in this one. Yeah. 3 crosses in this illustration. Doesn't even actually seem like that many crosses. I might put a lot more. And that's how I get the thumbnails, by the way. So I go like this. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then if you guys were interested on how I do the thumbnails for the streams and the YouTube things, so what I do is I just set it right here, right? And then I do the count, and then I go back onto my highlights, and I take the snipping tool on the computer, and I do a snipping thing of this, and then I just go onto 3D Paint on the computer, and I just put the little title thing of the Bible studies and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and by the way, the other thing, if anybody else is watching, we also do that. I made this like little wooden thing, and I do the clip things like this, because when I take a picture of it, especially see how this one is like bent up, if I don't clip it right here, sometimes the paper like bends up, so I use this like clipping method to get a kind of a more flat thing. I can't even talk right now. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Man, the music I was humming actually was Zelda. That's actually funny that you actually caught on to that. let's see how many people are watching. Okay, there's 3 people. Maybe we can rate video producer. Let me see who's live right now. Following. Let's see who is live. I guess we can raid. Let's see here. Since all you guys are believers, it seems, we're going to raid another believer then. We will raid Mount Moriah. That is who we going to raid, okay? So we'll raid a channel, and we're going to help out Mount Moriah. Mount Moriah. She's playing Minecraft right now. And we're going to raid Mount Moriah's channel at the moment. And you could ask Mount Moriah a bunch of Bible questions. She knows a lot about the Bible. And she's also very good at evangelism. So, that's what we're going to do, okay? I'm starting to raid now. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. To God be the glory. And continue to try your best and have fun. Okie dokie. 3 people. Alrighty then. Let's see here.
Oh, Jamie, hi. Raid. Woo. It's a Jamie raid. Raiding with a party of 3. Come on. What's up, brother? How was your stream? What have you been drawing? What have you been crafting? What
Let
have you
go.
been learning on your bike and whatnot? Talking about the Bible. I know you do Bible studies. They're pretty awesome. The ones that I've attended anyways. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Yep, holding me. House. Bothering me.
Seals those up in a minute.
Bambina. Kayla. Hello, Kayla. What up? Thank you for the follow, sister or brother.
Okay, now it's time for me to end this stream. I wonder, what happens if I stop the stream right now?
We're just like working on the houses.
I'm wondering.
Well, I like this is like staircase to your
I
house.
guess I can just end it, I think.